Very smart, very intelligent, has a knack for the game. He did things in the offseason to work on his speed.
Obviously, he went Notre Dame, so me going there, a lot of people are thinking, oh, you're following his path and you're following his footsteps, but I know that this is really me creating my own journey. So when I get up there, one of the biggest things for me is I don't play the same position as him. So when they see Bettis out there on the field, it'll look a lot different this time.
When he was a little guy, I used to always tell him, I played football so you don't have to. The goal was never for him to be a football player. You know, the goal was for him to be the best person he could possibly be.
It's something that I've been immersed in for the majority of my life since I was really young. And so obviously you see a lot of it as a kid, and so you're interested. And so it piqued my interest. I was like, oh, that's something I'd like to try. Looked interesting, looked fun. I knew my dad had played it, so I was like, why not? Let's give it a shot. And so I went out there, and then that initial hit, I fell in love with the game. And then it was on from there.
You have your son, and you say to yourself, you know, is this what I'm seeing? Does he have potential? How good is he? And at about 11, 12, you start to see him do some things that aren't normal. Some things that stood out was his ability to catch the ball with his hands, right? Most kids aren't catching balls at the high point. They aren't doing some of those things that you learn later on as a receiver. And he was doing this immediately. And so it was just interesting because you're saying, wow, this isn't something that we really worked on. It wasn't things that we had I coached him up on. These were things that he was doing naturally. As Jerome's father, I am proudest of the young man that he's become. He's thoughtful, you know, kind, he cares, considerate, all those things that maybe I'd struggle with at his age.
I feel like the blueprint for me is my father, and so that's in all aspects and just how to be a man. And so he's a incredibly humble person considering all that he's achieved. And so watching him be able to remain the same person that he's always been it's been amazing for me because I understand how I have to be. And so through him, I've learned that regardless of who you are, what you've done, and where you've been, you still have to remain the same and stay humble. My mom's amazing. My mom is the one who every day consistently pushes me. She always checks on me mentally, physically, making sure I'm all good. And so it's just been amazing to have her there to help me and support me.
I looked at Jerome and said, if my boy ever grew up to be like you, I would be very proud of who he was as a father. So he's just an exceptional young man that's respected by his peers, the administration, his teachers. He always shows respect, has a tremendous sense of humor, and just as polite as could possibly be.
Jerome is a great young man. His smile is impeccable.
It's the old theory, it takes a village, and he's really used that village to help develop the young man that he's become.
The biggest thing I know, one, he brings is his length. You know, he's 6'3", he's long arms, he's athletic, so those kids are hard to find. And, you know, he did things in the offseason to work on his speed, to bring some more athleticism to his game. For the most part, he's going to catch the ball, anything that's in his wingspan. He has a big, long wingspan. If it's in his air, he's going to get it. He's the type of kid that is willing to do whatever he needs to do to help the team. So for us, he has to play some free safety as well as receiver, and he's taking that job on, and he has no problem with that. Very smart, very intelligent, has a knack for the game, understands coverage, understands leverage, understands responsibilities.
Throughout the week, you're constantly preparing and getting ready for the opponent, and so I feel like as a wide receiver, you have to know what you're up against. So you have to watch film, you have to sit in the classroom, and so then from there on, it's about using the God-given ability and natural talent that you have on that field.
I think about plays that stand out for me with my son. It's the plays that he didn't make. When I see, a play, I know it's, extremely difficult, right? But I still say to myself, I know what he's capable of. So those are the plays that I remember. Those are the plays that, I talk to him about. Those are the plays that I hope that, deep down in his stomach, he's disappointed about not being able to make some of those plays. If you're able to make the plays, then you become a playmaker. You want to be able to put on a film and say, oh, wow, you look at this play. Look at this play. Look at this play.
If you're going out there every play and you're giving it 100% and you make everything look the same, then it opens it up for your pass plays. So like when you know the ball's coming to you, it looks the same as when you know you're not getting it. So I feel like it really makes it harder for the defense to know, oh, he might get the ball here, or oh, it might be a run here.
He has the potential to be, a special wide receiver. He has the size, he has the athleticism, he has the ability. Now the question is, will the work ethic match up when it's time to go to the next level?
I believe the first time I went to Notre Dame, I was around 8 years old, and so I visited with my whole family. I loved it up there. I loved the cold, actually. It was just a great experience, and so from there on, my mind has kind of been set on Notre Dame, even without me knowing it. So I had to put the work in, and then obviously when I received the offer, I was like, oh, this is what I've been waiting on.
For me, academics has always been the number one goal, because I've always thought that education is the biggest equalizer in life. I think the benefit that I had having gone to Notre Dame was that I understood the significance of a great education. And so much so, I decided a couple years ago that I wanted to go back and complete my degree because it was that important, and I wanted my children to see that it is important.
I see kids even my age who their only goal and all they're thinking about is the NFL, and so the average career is like 2 to 3 years, and so you obviously have to think about what's after that. And so it's mind-blowing to me how many people don't really recognize that and realize it. So having my dad there to like guide me, and obviously as someone who's been through it, it's amazing. And so I feel like that's part of the reason that really led me to pick Notre Dame, is because I've had that guidance, and I understand that even after football is done, I still have the majority of my life left, and I gotta learn how to spend it.
Anything that Jerome puts his mind to is going to get accomplished. So whatever he chooses in life, he's going to be highly successful.
It is the beginning of an incredible opportunity. So I look at it maybe different than most dads would, because most dads say, hey, this is it, and where I look at it and say, this is the start, right? This is the beginning of this journey that you're on. Everything was putting you in position for this moment, for you to take it and go forward.
So I'm going there to be able to, one, follow in his footsteps and his legacy, but also create my own path. So when I get out there, one of the biggest things for me is I don't play the same position as him. So when they see Bettis out there on the field, it'll look a lot different this time.